Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast and Chill on the Learn English podcast channel. I'm Leo, and as always, I'm here with Gwen, who always keeps things real and focused.
Hi, everyone. It's great to have you back with us.
So, Gwen, today we're talking about something really important: time.
That's right, Leo. Our topic today is don't waste your time. You're never young forever.
Time is one of the most precious things we have. Once it's gone, we can't get it back, and that's why it's so important to make the most of it.
Exactly, Leo. Think about how quickly the years pass by. It feels like just yesterday we were celebrating New Year's, and now we're already halfway through the year.
It's so true, Gwen. Sometimes we get so caught up in our daily routines and distractions that we forget how valuable each moment really is.
And that's why today we're going to dive deep into why we should never take time for granted. We'll talk about how to recognize the value of time and why it's crucial to spend it wisely.
We'll also explore how to find purpose in our daily lives, because when you have a clear purpose, it's easier to make the most of your time.
And let's not forget about those pesky distractions that steal our time without us even noticing. We'll discuss how to identify and eliminate those distractions.
Right. Gwen, we're also going to talk about living in the present moment, truly enjoying life as it happens, instead of always worrying about the past or the future.
And as always, we've got some practical tips and advice to help you start making the most of your time today.
So, if you've ever felt like time is slipping away, or if you want to make your days more meaningful, this episode is for you.
And don't forget to check out the free PDF in the description below for more tips and exercises to help you make the most of your time.
Let's get started. All right, Gwen, let's dive into today's topic. Why do you think it's so important not to waste time?
Well, Leo, time is something we can never get back once it's gone. It's one of the few things in life that, no matter how hard you try, you can't buy or recover.
And when you think about it, time is really the most valuable thing we have. Unlike money or things which can be replaced, time keeps moving forward, whether we use it well or not. That's why today, we're going to talk about why it's important to make the most of our time.
There's actually a study from Harvard University that found people who manage their time well tend to feel happier and more satisfied with their lives. It's not just about being productive, but about feeling in control of your own time.
That makes sense, Gwen. It's like when you finish a productive day, you feel a sense of accomplishment, like you've really made the most of your time.
And yet, so many of us struggle with time management. Whether it's getting caught up in distractions or simply procrastinating, we often find ourselves wondering where all the time went.
That's why it's so important to recognize the value of time and take active steps to manage it better. This brings us to our first key point, the value of time.
Time is often something we take for granted, but it's the one thing we can never get back once it's gone. Every moment offers a new opportunity, whether it's to learn, connect with others, or simply enjoy life.
That's so true, Gwen. And the older we get, the more we realize how fast time flies. It's not just about making the most of our time, but also about being present in the moment and appreciating what we have right now.
And that's where finding purpose in our daily lives becomes so important. When you have a clear sense of purpose, it's much easier to prioritize your time and focus on what really matters. Whether it's pursuing a career, building relationships, or working on personal growth, having a purpose gives direction to our lives.
And when we talk about finding purpose, it's also about being mindful of the distractions that can easily pull us away from what's important. Distractions are everywhere these days, from social media to endless notifications on our phones. If we're not careful, we can waste hours without even realizing it.
That's so true, Leo. And it's not just about the obvious distractions. Sometimes it's our own habits of delay or saying yes to things that don't fit with our goals.
Which is why learning to manage distractions is a crucial skill. We'll share some strategies on how to stay focused and ensure you're spending your time on what really matters.
And finally, we'll discuss the importance of living in the present moment. So often, we spend our time worrying about what's happened in the past or stressing about what might happen in the future. But the truth is, the only moment we truly have is right now.
That's right, Gwen. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future, but it's about fully experiencing life as it unfolds, appreciating the small moments that make life rich and meaningful. We'll explore some practical tips on how to be more present in your everyday life, and how this simple shift in perspective can lead to greater happiness and fulfillment.
So, stay with us because we have a lot of valuable insights to share that could help you make the most of your time and live a more meaningful life.
Now that we've talked about the importance of time, let's go over some vocabulary that can help you better understand today's topic.
That's right, Leo. Let's start with the word prioritize. Prioritized, meaning to decide what is most important and do that first. Example, it's important to prioritize your tasks to manage your time better. Productivity, meaning the ability to get a lot of work done in a certain amount of time. Example, her productivity increases when she avoids distractions. Distraction, meaning something that takes your attention away from what you should be doing. Example, social media can be a big distraction when you need to focus. Schedule, meaning a plan that shows when activities will happen. Example, keeping a daily schedule helps you manage your time. Balance, meaning a situation where different things are equal or in the correct proportions. Example, it's important to find a balance between work and relaxation.
Great job, Gwen. Now, let's put these words into practice with a couple of questions for our listeners. First question, how do you prioritize your tasks each day?
I usually start by making a list of everything I need to do. Then, I decide which tasks are the most important and need to be done first. For example, if I have a project due tomorrow, I will work on that before anything else. And the second question is, what distractions do you think are the biggest obstacles to managing your time?
For me, social media is a big distraction. I find myself checking my phone often, and it can really take up a lot of my time. To avoid this, I try to set specific times to check my phone so that I can stay focused on my work.
That's a great strategy, Leo.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below.
And don't forget, you can always come back to this episode and the free PDF for more practice and tips.
So how to make sure you're using your time in the best way possible, Gwen?
It all starts with setting meaningful goals. When you have clear goals, it's easier to know what you need to focus on.
For example, let's say your goal is to learn English. You can set smaller goals like studying for 30 minutes each day or practicing with a friend. This approach not only makes your goal more manageable, but it also helps you stay motivated because you can see your progress.
And remember, it's important to set goals that are realistic and achievable.
That's true, Gwen. In fact, a study by the American Psychological Association found that people who set achievable goals are more likely to stick to them and feel more satisfied with their progress. It's easy to get discouraged if you set goals that are too big or too hard. So start small and build your way up. Every little step counts.
And speaking of progress, the next thing we want to talk about is embracing growth and learning. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. It's something you can do your whole life.
You're right, Gwen. You can always find new things to learn, whether it's a new skill, a hobby, or even just reading a book. And there's plenty of evidence to show that continuous learning is linked to better mental health and well-being. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Adult Development found that adults who engage in lifelong learning activities are more likely to have higher cognitive functioning and overall life satisfaction.
And the best part is, learning new things helps you grow as a person. It can also help you stay motivated and excited about life.
That's right. And speaking of staying motivated, another important thing is to cherish your relationships. Relationships with family, friends, and loved ones are some of the most important things in life.
Yes, Leo, spending time with the people you care about can bring a lot of joy and meaning to your life. And research supports this too. A study by Harvard University, known as the Harvard Study of Adult Development, has shown that strong relationships are key to happiness and even to physical health. The study, which has been running for over 80 years, found that people with strong relationships tend to live longer, healthier lives. So, make sure you're taking time to connect with those who matter most to you.
And remember, it's not just about quantity, but quality time.
So, to sum up, set meaningful goals, keep learning and growing, and cherish your relationships.
Doing these things will help you use your time wisely and live a fulfilling life.